Session 40, Session 40, 2nd April 2022. Quran, the Word of Allah, an elaboratory translation by ex-Brigadier Mustansar Billah. Brothers and sisters, we are on Surah Al-Araf, the 7th Surah, and on part 8. And today we shall cover, Allah willing, verses 34 to 57 of Surah Al-Araf. وَلِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ أَجَلٌ فَإِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهُمْ لَا يَسْتَأْخِرُونَ سَاعَةً وَلَا يَسْتَقْدِمُونَ 3-4. And for every people, civilization, nation, there is a fixed term. Then, when that term expires, it can neither be delayed for a moment, nor can it be made to come early. Ya bani Adama imma yatiyannakum rasulan minkum yakusuna alaykum ayati faman ittaqa wa aslaha fala khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun. 3-5. O children of Adam, if messengers from amongst you come to you and recite to you my revelations, then those who will become righteous and mend their ways will have nothing to fear or to grieve. And those who will become righteous and mend their ways will have nothing to fear or grieve. وَالَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا وَاسْتَكْبَرُوا عَنْهَا أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ 3-6. And those who have disbelieved our verses and are arrogant, those are the ones of the hell and will remain therein forever. And those who have disbelieved our verses and are arrogant, those are the ones of the hell and will remain therein forever and ever. فَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنِ افْتَرَىٰ عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا أَوْ كَذَّبَ بِآيَاتِهِ أُولَٰئِكَ يَنَالُهُمْ نَصِيبُهُم مِّنَ الْكِتَابِ حَتَّىٰ إِذَا جَاءَتْهُمْ رُسُلُنَا يَتَوَفَّوْنَهُمْ قَالُوا أَيْنَ مَا كُنتُمْ تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ قَالُوا ضَلُّوا عَنَّا وَشَهِدُوا عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ أَنَّهُمْ كَانُوا كَافِرِينَ 3-7. Who can be more unjust than the one who invents a lie against Allah or rejects His revelations? Such people will have their destined portions from the book, that is, good things in their worldly lives, and their period of stay therein, what was written for them to receive during their life on earth. When our angels of death arrive to take away their lives, they'll ask, where are those gods whom you used to invoke besides Allah? The angels will ask, where are those gods whom you used to invoke besides Allah? They'll reply, they have vanished and deserted us, and they'll bear witness against themselves that they were indeed kuffar, disbelievers. They'll bear witness against themselves that they were indeed kuffar, disbelievers. قَالَ ادْخُلُوا فِي أُمَمٍ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِن قَبْلِكُم مِّنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ فِي النَّارِ كُلَّمَا دَخَلَتْ أُمَّةٌ لَعَنَتْ أُخْتَهَا حَتَّى إِذَا ادَّارَكُوا فِيهَا جَمِيعًا وقالت أخراهم لأولاهم ربنا هؤلاء أضلونا فآتيهم عذابا ضعفا من النار قال لكل ضعف ولكن لا تعلمون 3-8. Allah will say, enter the hell fire along with previous people from the jinns and mankind which preceded you. Every time a new nation enters, it curses its sister nation that went before, until they will be all together in the fire, until they'll be all together in the fire. The last of the generation would say to the first one, Our Rabb, Lord, they misled us. They misled us. Give them double the punishment. Allah will say, there will be double punishment for all, although you may not know. Allah will say, there will be double punishment for all, although you may not know. وَقَالَتْ أُولَاهُمْ لأخراهم فما كان لكم علينا من فضل فذوقوا العذاب بما كنتم تكسبون. 3:9. Then the first will say to the last, if we were to blame, you too were no better than us. Then the first will say to the last, if we were to blame, you too were no better than us. Now taste the punishment of your misdeeds. Now taste the punishment of your misdeeds. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا وَاسْتَكْبَرُوا عَنْهَا لَا تُفَتَّحُ لَهُمْ أَبْوَابُ السَّمَاءِ وَلَا يَدْخُلُونَ الْجَنَّةَ حَتَّى يَلِجَ الْجَمَلُ فِي سَمِّ الْخِيَاطِ وَكَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُجْرِمِينَ. 4:0. Surely the gates of heaven will not be opened for those who deny our revelations. Surely the gates of heaven will not be opened for those who deny our revelations and treat them with arrogance. Their admission into heaven would be as impossible as the passing of a camel through the eye of a needle. That's how we shall reward the criminals. لهم من جهنم مهاد ومن فوقهم غواشي وكذلك نجزي الظالمين. 4:1. Hell shall be their bed, and flames shall be their bed covers. That is how we shall reward the wrongdoers. Hell shall be their bed, and flames shall be their bed covers. That is how we shall reward the wrongdoers. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَا تُكَلِّفُ نَفْسًا إِلَّا وُسْعَهَا أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. 4:2. As for those who believe and do good deeds, we never burden a soul more than it can bear. They are worthy of paradise, wherein they live forever and ever. وَنَزَعْنَا مَا فِي صُدُورِهِم مِّنْ غِلٍّ تَجْرِي مِن تحتهم الأنهار قالوا الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله لقد جاءت رسول ربنا الحق ونودوا أن تلكم الجنة أورثتموها بما كنتم تعلمون. 4:3. And we shall remove from their hearts any hatred, ill feeling they might be carrying against anyone. Rivers will be flowing beneath them, and they'll say, Praise be to Allah who guided us this way. Praise be to Allah who guided us this way. Otherwise, we couldn't have found the right way if Allah had not guided us. Otherwise, we couldn't have found the right way if Allah had not guided us. The messengers of our Rabb, Lord, have surely preached us the truth. This is the heaven which you have inherited because of your good, pious deeds. وَنَادَى أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ أَصْحَابَ النَّارِ أَنْ قَدْ وَجَدْنَا مَا وَعَدَنَا رَبُّنَا حَقًّا فَهَلْ وَجَدْتُم مَا وَعَدَ رَبُّكُمْ حَقًّا قَالُوا نَعَمْ فَأَذَّنَ مُؤَذِّنٌ بَيْنَهُمْ أَنْ لَعْنَةُ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْكَاذِبِينَ عَلَى الظَّالِمِينَ. My apology. 4:4. The residents of heaven will call out to the inmates of the hellfire. The residents of heaven will call out to the inmates of the hellfire, We have indeed found true what our Lord had promised us. Have you also found the promise of your Rabb to be true? They'll answer, yes. And a herald will proclaim among them, the curse of Allah be upon those wrongdoers. And a herald will proclaim among them, the curse of Allah be upon those wrongdoers. الذين يصدون عن سبيل الله ويبغونها عوجا وهم بالآخرة كافرون. 4-5. Those inmates of the hell were the people who tried to block, dissuade, prevent, check others from following the way of Allah, and tried to find shortcomings into the Quran and Sunnah. I repeat, 4-5. Those inmates of the hell were the people who tried to block, dissuade, prevent, check others from following the way of Allah, and tried to find shortcomings in it, the Quran and Sunnah. And they disbelieved the life hereafter. That is, they believed that they'll not be resurrected. They believed that they'll not be resurrected. وبينهما جمع على الأعراف رجال يعرفون كلا بسيماهم ونادوا أصحاب الجنة أن سلام عليكم لم يدخلوها وهم يطمعون. 4-6. Between the two there will be a barrier, and on Al-Araf, a wall with elevated places, would be people whose good and evil deeds would be equal in scale. The people whose good and evil deeds would be equal in scale, who would recognize all of the paradise and help people by their faces, marks. The dwellers of paradise by their white faces, the dwellers of paradise by their white faces, and the dwellers of hell by their black faces. And they'll call out to the dwellers of paradise, Salamun alaikum, peace be upon you. And at that time, men on Al-Araf will not have entered it, that's the paradise, but they'll be hoping to enter it with certainty. وَإِذَا صُرِفَتْ أَبْصَارُهُمْ تِلْقَاءَ أَصْحَابِ النَّارِ قَالُوا رَبَّنَا لَا تَجْعَلْنَا مَعَ الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ. 7. And when their eyes shall turn towards the inmates of the fire, they will say, O our Rabb, do not cast us among those zalimeen, wrongdoers. وَنَدَى أَصْحَابُ الْأَعْرَافِ رِجَالٌ يَعْرِفُونَهُمْ بِسِيمَاهُمْ قَالُوا مَا أَغْنَى عَنْكُمْ جَمْعُكُمْ وَمَا كُنْتُمْ تَسْتَكْبِرُونَ. 4-8. The people of the Araf heights will call to certain men, famous personalities from among the dwellers of hell, whom they'll recognize from their features, and say, have you found out neither your richness nor your arrogant pride have availed you? They'll say, have you found out neither your richness nor your arrogant pride have availed you? هؤلاء الذين أقسمتم لا ينالهم الله برحمة ادخلوا الجنة لا خوف عليكم ولا أنتم تحزنون. 4-9. Are these residents of paradise not those about whom you swore that Allah will never bestow His mercy on them? Today the same people are being welcomed by the words, enter paradise, you have nothing to fear or to grieve. وَنَدَى أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ أَصْحَابَ الْجَنَّةِ أَنْ أَفِيضُوا عَلَيْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ أَوْ مِمَّا رَزَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ قَالُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ حَرَّمَهُمَا عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ. 5-0. Then the dwellers of the fire will cry out to the residents of paradise, give us some water or some of the food which Allah has provided you. They'll reply, the heaven dwellers, Allah has prohibited both of these things to the disbelievers? They'll reply, Allah has prohibited both of these things to the disbelievers. الذين اتخذوا دينهم لهم لعبا وغرتهم الحياة الدنيا فاليوم ننساهم كما ننسوا لقاء يومهم هذا ما كانوا بآياتنا يجحدون. 5:1. The disbelievers who took their religion to be mere amusement and play and were deceived by their life in the world. The disbelievers who took their religion to be mere amusement and play and were deceived by their life in the world. Allah will say, today we'll forget them as they forgot the meeting of this day. Today we'll forget them as they forgot the meeting of this day and mocked our revelations. لَقَدْ جَاءَهُمْ بِكِتَابٍ فَصَّلْنَا عَلَى الْعِلْمِ هُدًى وَرَحْمَةً لِقَوْمٍ يُؤْمِنُونَ. 5:2. And for the reason that we have certainly given them a book which provides clear details, instructions, orders, guidance based on knowledge, and which is guidance and blessing for the true believers. هل ينظرون إلا تأويل يوم يأتي تأويله يقول الذين نسوه من قبل قد جاءت رسول ربنا بالحق فهل لنا من شفاء ويشفع لنا أو نرد فنعمل غير الذي كنا نعمل قد خسروا أنفسهم وضل عنهم ما كانوا يفترون. 5:3. Now are these people, the disbelievers, waiting for anything other than the day of fulfillment, day of judgment? When the day of fulfillment comes, those who have disregarded it would say, indeed, the messengers of our Rabb, Lord, had come with truth. Are there any intercessors now who could intercede on our behalf? Or could we be sent back so that we would not do as we have done before? In fact, they would have lost their own selves and the things they had invented, that is, the false deities, will leave them in the lurch. The false deities will leave them in the lurch. إن ربكم الله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض في ستة أيام ثم استوى على العرش يغشي الليل والنهار يطلبها حسيبا والشمس والقمر والنجوم مسخرات بأمره ألا له الخلق والأمر تبارك الله رب العالمين. 5:4. Surely Allah is your Rabb, who created the heavens and the earth in 6 yawm, days, that is days or stages. And then He established Himself on the throne in a manner that suits His majesty. He makes the night cover the day, and the day follow the night automatically. He created the sun, moon, and stars, and made them subservient to His will. Take a note, His is the creation, and His is the command. Blessed is Allah, the Rabb of the worlds, the Creator, the Sustainer of the worlds. Udu Rabbakum tazarram wa khufiyata innahu la yuhibbul mutadin. 5:5. Plead to your Rabb, crying loudly or silently. Plead to your Rabb, crying loudly or silently, and remember that He doesn't like people exceed the limits, overstretch themselves. And remember that He, Allah, doesn't like people exceed the limits, overstretch themselves. وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا وَادْعُوهُ خَوْفًا وَطَمَعًا إِنَّ رَحْمَةَ اللَّهِ قَرِيبٌ مِنَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. 5:6. And do not create mischief, trouble in the land, after things have been put in order. And plead with Allah. Pray to Him with fear of His retribution. Pray to Him with fear of His retribution and hope for His mercy. Surely The help of Allah is close to those who do pious deeds. Surely the help of Allah is close to those who do pious deeds. هو الذي يرسل الريح بشرا بين يدي رحمته حتى إذا أقلت سحابا سكالا سكنه لبلد ميت فأنزلنا به الماء فأخرجنا به من كل الثمرات كذلك يخرج الموتى لعلكم تذكرون. And the last verse for today, He is the one who sends the winds bearing good news of His blessing. So when they lift up heavy clouds, we drive them along to a dead, barren land and make them rain fall upon it and bring forth all kinds of fruits from the same dead land. Likewise, we will raise the dead to life. Likewise, we'll raise the dead to life. This example is given so that you may learn a lesson from this observation. Session 40 ends here. Please pray for me. Next section, God be willing, tomorrow, that is on 3rd April. Jazakallah, ex-Brigadier Mustansar Billah.